Welcome to our training session number 2 for your strong start. I'm so glad that you have stuck with our training program. I know our last training segment was a lot of nuts and bolts to get your business off to a great start. You worked on your new consultant rewards goal sheet, and I hope that you've planned to earn many PC dollars. You also worked on your launch list, and I hope that you've continued to go back and add names as you've thought of more people, that it's really a growing list all the time of contacts for you. I gave you a challenge to book 6 parties in your first 30 days, to hold 6 parties in your first 30 days, 4 different circles that would be involved in that. And we had you set a goal of how many you were going to do in the first 48 hours after that training. So I want to just touch base with you about that and let you know, celebrate any bookings that you got. And if you heard more no's than you were expecting, I just want to encourage you and let you know that the yeses are right around the corner. Keep going. Don't take it personal when someone tells you no. They're saying no to a party, not to you. Maybe the timing just isn't right, or it just is something they're nervous and they're going to watch a little bit and wait and hear about your success. So don't give up. Keep going. And if you didn't reach your original goal, I want to encourage you to set a new goal. How about the next 48 hours? How many more parties do you want to get booked to reach your 6 scheduled in your first 30 days? It is so worth it. I already shared with you all the rewards and the great things that are going to happen to you when you submit 6 parties in your first 30 days. So let's keep going. Work around. I know that life gets busy, schedules can conflict, and you really have to carve out time to work. But again, it's always worth it. You can do it, and your business just deserves that attention. So we're going to move on today to some new topics. The first thing I want to tell you is that you have an opportunity. I told you a lot about PC dollars based on your sales, and that every $12.50 in sales you submit is 100 PC dollars. You also have another way to earn PC dollars, and that's when you have new consultants join your team. What I found when I started is a lot of my friends had an interest in doing a business like Pampered Chef 2, but they just didn't have the guts or the courage to do it. But they watched me first, and I will tell you, all of my closest friends have joined my team at some point, even some without me even asking, because they were really that excited. There's a humongous amount of people that have thought about a home-based business, but they're just nervous or they're waiting to be asked. So be sure that you are aware. Here's what I want to tell you. One more fantastic reward that's available to you in your first 90 days is what we call the Fast Track Bonus. And I will tell you, if you walked into a room and there was $2,000 worth of cash laying out at a table, would you walk away and ignore that? Or would you say, what do I have to do to get a hold of that? I hope that you would say, what do I have to do to get a hold of that? Because I'm going to tell you, this is all about the Fast Track to Director program. And you have an opportunity to earn $2,000 in cash. There's 3 different levels, and you don't have to earn all $2,000, but you can, or you can earn parts of it. So the first way you can earn $500 is when you promote to director in your first 90 days. What is a director? A director is someone who has done their parties, shared with people, and has 5 team members on their team. So it could be hostesses that you've met during your parties. It can be friends. It can be family. And they want to come on board and try it too. I will be the one sharing these videos with them. They'll be trained by me or your director. So don't stress about how would I help someone. We will help you. We're set up and prepared to do that. You can have 5 team members and they're all 5 your friends. Or if one of your friends invites a friend, that counts as one of your 5 too. So you just need a total of 5 people who started with someone on your team and work down from there. When there's 5 of you on a team and you plus them all do parties within your first 90 days in one given month, and your total sales are $5,000, you promote to director. And there's so many benefits. The cash is just one of them. Free products, trip points for vacations that are free, all kinds of things that I can tell you more about. You also can earn another $500 when you meet your director stats 3 months in a row, which again, director stats are 5,000 in sales in each month following that. So keep that in mind. It's a great opportunity. And then you can earn a $1,000 bonus when someone on your team promotes to director as well. in the next 6 months. Amazing. So fast track bonus. Start looking at your launch list and think, who would be really fun to work with? Who do I already know who would want to do this business with me? And let's have a coffee date, a phone call with them between you, your director, or myself, and let's see who else might want to join your team and do this business with you. You're both going to win. It's both going to be amazing for you. So that is what the fast track bonus is. We're going to switch gears before we wrap up this training and let you know that you've now gotten, I hope, 6 or more parties booked, or you will have 6 or more parties booked. And here's what I'm going to tell you. It takes the same amount of time to do a small party and a big party. A little more time for a big party because there's more orders. But for the most part, you're going to leave your house or do a virtual show for the same amount of time, whether you have 5 people in the room or 12 to 15 people in a room. And the best way to get 12 to 15 people in a room or at a virtual party or more is by what we call host coaching, where you guide your host, you give him or her tips on how to be successful. Your host is looking to you to be the expert on how to have a good party. And so what you're going to want to do is go into PC University. Remember, when you log into Consultants Corner on the website with your password and your email, you're going to click on PC University, it's the big orange button, and you're going to scroll to the courses and resources for host coaching. And you're going to see Hosting 101. And these are amazing tips that I want you to read. I'm not going to go through the time to read this with you, but this is a great, great resource for you. If you cut corners, you'll be shortchanging your host, but you'll also be shortchanging yourself and your success. And to be able to get those 2 bookings booked from every party, that's our goal, you really want to make sure that you have attendance. And the best way to have good attendance at parties and successful parties is to host coach. You're also going to see a host coaching checklist. I use this every single month, and it helps me make sure that I'm not missing any steps. I'm going to list the name of my host, what kind of party it is, and then take a little check mark. If I don't do every single one of these, but I do even a third or more than half, I've got a great, great show for my host, and he is going to be successful. There are also courses, online courses and audios that you can take that focus on host coaching. And that's really what you need to do. And the first person that you need to host coach is yourself. I'm just going to assume right now that you're having a grand opening party that we've discussed. And if you don't, just tuck this away, because sometime you might have a different party at your house. So stay with me even if you're not doing a grand opening. First of all, your attendance is very important. So anybody from your launch list that wasn't able to book a party or chose not to, I'm assuming you are inviting them to your grand opening, or if you haven't, now is the time to do it. We want to make sure you invite very personally, and just like you're going to tell your host, you want to invite one-on-one. That can be a text message. That can be a postcard invitation. And Pampered Chef gave you postcard invitations in your host packets that you're going to make labels for your host and let them pass them out. You can also do a Facebook event. You're not going to rely on Facebook because we know a lot of people skip those notifications. I've missed really fun parties because I never saw it until after the fact. And I really wish my friend would have said to me, "Hey, Julie, I invited you to an event. Check your notifications." So anytime someone uses an event from Facebook, I still tell them, do a one-on-one message. Make sure your friend or family member did not miss the notification. So inviting to parties, whether it's you for your grand opening or all of the hosts that you're going to coach, has to be done personal, one-on-one, postcard invitation, or a Facebook event, and or a text message. Those are the 3 best ways I like to do invitations. Of course, they can do invitations from your website as well. And I know you've already activated your first or your free website. That was on your checklist of what to do in your first 24 hours. If you haven't done that yet, you absolutely want to activate your free website, because there is a great host area, and each of your hosts can use that to build a guest list, to email invitations, and to start collecting outside orders from people who can't come to a party. So that is the beginning stages of host coaching, is how will we invite people? The most important job for every host is to get people at the party. It's not a focus on food right now. It's not a focus on any of that. It is, who can you invite to the party? And they need to invite lots of people in lots of ways. And when I say lots, let me define it. 25, 35 names need to be on a guest list. 40 names need to be on a guest list. And that's going to get you the results that you want. But all of this information is on PC University in your host coaching section. And that's a whole segment that you're going to want to dive in and not brush over. So your assignment, finish up your 6 parties booked. If you've already got them booked, great. You can move on to your next 30 days or really start bearing down and focusing on host coaching, and then be prepared to share with your director, either that's me or someone else that is your director. Let them know that you finished watching the second training video and you are working on host coaching. Let them know 3 of the best tips you learned about host coaching and how you're going to implement them. All right. You will then get video number 3, and our next topic is going to be all about how to do your party. So our first step was booking parties, which was training number 1. Training number 2 is how to have great parties, and that's partnering with your host or for yourself, your grand opening, to make sure it's well attended and people are excited to come. And so we're going to invite, and invite. So come back for training number 3 when you finish your host coaching, and we'll get you all ready to do the most amazing party for your friends and yourself.